Hey everyone, welcome to another broadcast of my Wednesday Whispers. Hope you're all doing fantastic tonight. Tyson and I very much are. We have absolutely beautiful weather today. The sun is shining here in Carberry, Manitoba. I am just going to wait for a moment or two and wait for some more people to pop on before I get rolling with tonight's broadcast. Not too sure how long I've been doing Wednesday Whispers now. Year and a half, maybe, something like that. Something I enjoy very, very much. Wednesday Whispers is very, very near and dear to me. It's just my way of giving back and giving those, a quick moment of messages from your loved ones who are really needing it, and you get to be in the comfort of your home and I get to be in the comfort of my office. So I'm hoping that Wednesday Whispers continues on for a very, very long time. So I ask all of you if you would please share my broadcast every single Wednesday. It's really important to me. The more shares it gets out there, the more recognition it gets, and the more people I get to help. And that's super important to me. That's what this is all about. I'm just trying to help people. So if you do something for me in return, that would be super great, is to just hit that share button at any time during this broadcast. Super appreciate it. All right, and I thank my viewers who, I thank each and every one of you for tuning in on Wednesday evening. I get it. Life is super busy, but there's so many of you that watch, continuously, and that it just, warms my heart, and I love seeing your names pop up each and every week. It means so much to me. Good evening, Kelly. Hello. Tekla, good evening. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Melina and Johanna, hello. Tracy, good evening. Hi, thank you so much for being here with me tonight, Tracy. Lori, Norma, hello. I'm so glad you enjoyed my Wednesday night broadcast. Mike, Lynn, hello. Thank you for tuning in from Steep Rock. You must be camping. Jennifer, hello, good evening. Tracy, yeah, it has been at least 3 years, yeah. I think you're including Tune In Tuesdays. A lot of you may not know what that is, but Tracy's talking about in the 3 years. I used to do it Tune In Tuesday, and then I switched to Wednesday Whispers. But yes, you're right, Tracy, thanks. Jade, Debbie, Andrea, hello to everybody. Hello, Melissa. Nice to see you on. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Melissa. Bernice, Wanda, Betty, hi. Thank you for tuning in. Hi. Jake, I'm at Jim and Janie's. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Uncle Jack. He's just saying that he is at my mom and my stepdad's house tonight, so they can watch my Wednesday Whispers. Aw, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for doing that for them. Hello to everybody. Hello, Lorraine, Alice. Thank you so much for all being here tonight. Before I get started, I just have a couple things really quick I want to talk about. I am going to be in Winnipeg coming up here real quick. July the 11th and the 24th, I will be in Winnipeg doing private one-on-one sessions. If you would like to have a one-on-one private session with me, there's a few spots open on each of those days. Again, that's July the 11th and the 24th. Go on my website, alisonswhisperinangels.com, and book one of those spots. And also, I'm super excited to announce I am doing a Saskatchewan tour starting August the 20th to August the 29th. I have, I believe, 6 different locations I will be going to, starting in Melville and then heading to Regina, Moose Jaw, Kindersley, Saskatoon, and Hudson Bay. Unfortunately, you cannot book a spot in Hudson Bay because that location is already all sold out. So, if you would like to see me in person and have a private one-on-one 1-hour session with me in absolutely any of those locations. Go on my website, alisonswhisperingangels.com. All right, so enough about all of that. I am so excited and looking forward to my broadcast tonight, Wednesday Whispers. I say a prayer and I reflect before every broadcast, always, always, always. And as I was sitting on my front deck this evening doing that, I had a ton of spirit come through. So I'm really hoping for some beautiful, lovely messages for some of you tonight. All right. If you believe that I am indeed connected with your loved one, if you could please, please write a comment the moment you believe that I am talking about your loved one. It just makes everything flow very quickly. And the faster things go through, the more people I can help. So it's really important that you could please, please do that. And also, if you feel that I'm connected with your loved one, but someone has already spoken for this spirit, say something anyways. That's okay. I will iron out the details. I'll figure out exactly who it is for. That is my job. All right. Please say something even if it is already spoken for. All right. So I just need a moment or two and I will get rolling. All right. The very first loved one I would love to bring forward is I have an older male here. All right, he's tall. Okay. He shows me that his passing, what I can see is he lived his, final days. I don't know how long per se, but he lived in a nursing home. All right. He's a tall man. Like I said, he'd been on the slimmer side, not a big man by no means. All right. Interesting. Next thing he wants to show me is I'm seeing a couple of these old classic cars is what it looks like to me. He's trying to, he must have had a love for them, or maybe he had one or two. I'm not really sure about that. But I need to talk about, I clearly can see, I think it's two classic cars in particular. I've asked him real quickly if he could please give me a little bit more information about him. He lets me know that he joined his wife in heaven. All right. She passed first, and he flips calendar months really, really fast for me. And symbolically, that usually means to me that he's trying to express that she was gone for quite some time before he passed. His wife passed many months, if not years before he did. All right. This wonderful man, he's got this great big smile on his face. Okay? When I asked him, please again, give me a little bit more information. I know it takes, there's a bit of a delay, but nobody is grabbing on to this loved one yet. I will continue to try to do my best to get the messages out. All right. When I asked him, could you please give me something that someone is going to understand and get really quick, and he writes me the letter L. I don't know if that's your name or his name. Okay. But he writes me the letter L. Okay. Again, he has a great big smile on his face. Right. Goes like this and touches the top of his head, and he shows me how he balded at some point. Okay. It's just so beautiful how he just keeps showing me over and over again how beautiful it was to join his wife in heaven. Okay? He missed her dearly. He shows me how I believe he's trying to express to me that he never remarried, he never anything like that. He kind of remained a bachelor kind of thing after the passing of his wife. All right, but just know he's just so relieved to be in such a beautiful place that we call heaven. His eternal life is so peaceful, and all is well. He wants me to quickly talk before I move on about how his family, there's so many family members there. Okay. Family was very, very important to him as he watches over. I was just about to say kids, and he tells me, like, I don't think he had any children. I think he's talking about, like, nieces and nephews and, you know, second and third cousins, that kind of thing. I think he's trying to also give me the description that he never had any children. Okay? Like I said, he's in a very, very, very happy place. All right. The next loved one that I would love to bring forward is I have another taller male here. And interestingly, this man, he's holding a cigarette. All right. I'm not 100% sure if that's why he died, or and what that contributed to bad health, which caused him to die. I'm not 100% sure. But what I do know is he is definitely holding a cigarette. All right. This guy, it was really beautiful. He just wrote me the word dad. He lets me know that I believe he's trying to say that his child is watching. Right? That's usually what they're getting at when they do that. Absolutely. He showed me a little bit more detail. His smoking. This was like an emphysema maybe, or something like that. Okay, that definitely contributed at least to his passing. As I can feel his personality, I need to talk about. He likes to bug. He loves to joke. Almost like, yeah, bug, I think, is the best way to describe what he's trying to show me. Okay. Barb could be my dad. All right, Barb, I will carry on and you let me know. All right. Interestingly, he shows me, this is along with the last gentleman I was just connected with, this gentleman too. He's got quite the height on him. Yeah, he's a tall man. He's got to be 6 feet, maybe even a little bit taller. Okay. Very family oriented, very much so. His children just meant everything to him, and very close. Like, his children were like his friends too, or if that makes sense to you, the way he's describing that, the way he's showing that to me. He carries on, interestingly, to talk about how much he loves his wife, and him and his wife are very, very much together, so that would be your mother. He shows me what a difference. He's short, or excuse me, he's tall, she's short. Okay, he's he's not a big man. Okay, and he's showing me his wife being a little bit on the pleasantly plump, I'll call him. Okay, and I asked him to Interesting, Barb. Let me know. I'll give you a few seconds to answer this. Just in the middle of all this, he wanted me to talk about a lily, and I don't know why. Does that make sense to you, Barb? I don't know, did you have one bloom, or did you just, I don't know, something about a lily. It was so beautiful. He just showed that to me in the middle of all of this. Okay. And Barb, he shows me like, I don't know if it's your knee bothering you, but what is that? He's showing me not that you can't walk, but you're suffering a little bit. You got some pain going on here. Okay. I'm not sure what he's getting at. I'm not sure if it's your knee. Lilies are your favorite. Oh, that's fantastic. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, just giving me a little piece of, of information that to really make him stand out. That's for you, is to talk about your favorite flower. Absolutely. Okay. I need to tell you, Barb, he moves on to showing me a picture. Okay. This looks like you have a picture of your mom and your dad. I can see them. I can see them in this picture. He's pointing this out. So this must be a picture that you look at often, like it's on the wall, or it's something here. It's very, it means a lot to you. You have a picture. Okay, he's pointing that out. He wants me to tell you that whatever this is, that you take very good care of your house. Okay? It's neat as a pin, he tells me, Barb. But all of a sudden I could see ants. Are you struggling with some ants as I'm talking about your home and your yard and all of that? He brings that to my attention too. Something about, I'm seeing, it looks like ants. Anyways, that's just your dad's way of showing you that he's right there with you. Okay? Through all of this, through everything, in life, right? I know, people in Manitoba and places, and people in Saskatchewan and certain places, they've been struggling so much with the weather and way too much rain and so on and so forth. And yes, the pictures on the TV stand. That's perfect, Barb. Absolutely. You look at it all the time. Of course, on the TV stand, you would. And it really took my eyes down to what looks like your basement. I don't know why. As I was talking about the weather, about there being lots of rain and so on and so forth, you really just all of a sudden, there's anthills all over your backyard. Oh, all right, yeah. Again, and this must be like worse than usual for him to bring that up. Worse than last year or last previous years. Barb lives in their old house. Perfect. That would be why he's describing the home to me the way that he is. That makes perfect sense to me. Again, I just need to talk about, he wants me to tell you, I see, such a frustration about your basement. Water in my basement with all the rain. Yeah, well, okay. As I was just saying, there's been so much rain lately. And he goes, just went like this, like you've been working so hard at that, like as if you were wiping your sweat. You've been working so hard to try and keep your basement dry. Okay? Your dad is very much with you, Barb. As you've been struggling with these things that are in, which was their home. That's absolutely beautiful. All right, so just know. I think, Barb, if I could just make another comment real quick here before I move on. I was just about to say, I got to wrap this up. But all of a sudden I needed to talk about a butterfly. And generally speaking, I think what's going on here is it was your way of your mother coming through to say hello to you. Okay? As I connect with your dad, I also need to quickly connect with your mom, and she's very, very, very much sends her love to you. I need to tell you that her earrings are beautiful. Okay? They always, always, always match her outfit. I need to tell you that, Barb. She very much shows that to me. And her hair is neat as a pin. All right. The butterfly is really interesting. Like I'm just trying to figure out why. And your mom wants me to talk about it. Do you have like a kind of looked to me like a crumbling step or something here? I don't know what that's about. I don't really know. If you have like a concrete step, something like that? I just feel like there's something's crumbling here a little bit. That's just your mom's way of also showing you that she's right there with you through all of this. She shows me the love of the hummingbird. Okay? You must have feeders because she's very much emphasizing the hummingbird. All right. So thank you so much, Barb, for giving me that beautiful, beautiful opportunity to connect with your dad. And the butterfly is in the backyard all the time. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely, Barb. And you know, that's just, again, if I can just quickly say, that's your mom's way of, you know, showing you that, giving you that moment that makes you think of her. All right. And you're never too far away. Okay. Thank you so very much, Barb. All right, the next loved one that I would love to bring forward is I have this wonderful older lady here. Okay. She is, you know, a little bit on the shorter side. All right. You are most welcome, Barb. You're most welcome. This lovely woman that I have, she lived, you know, a long life. It looks like into her 80s, I believe, is what she's trying to express to me. Okay. It's really beautiful. Her tone, I can hear her voice, and she's got such a beautiful tone. It's very soft. It's very, very, very loving, very warm. And it's something like I'm being shown that one of you would really feel that and remember that. All right. Whether or not this is your mother or maybe your grandmother or your wife, possibly. This lovely lady. I want to cry, but it felt like your emotion. Somebody really needs to hear from this wonderful lady. I don't know if it's just some things you're going through right now that you really need to hear from her, or you're just missing her that much, or what the situation is, but I'm almost in tears myself, and I can feel that grief. I can feel that sadness within you, whoever this is for, this lovely woman. Next, she moves on. She shows me a beautiful crucifix, all right? Now, that is symbolic. That is, she's expressing to me that she was very, very much a woman of faith, and she very much is in heaven. Okay? And then she wants me to express that her heaven is exactly what she thought it would be like, if not times 10. All right. She shows me that she spends her time in heaven with many, many loved ones, but especially her husband. All right. I don't know why in the middle of all this she shows me a piano. Okay, I don't know who played, or you, her, or just, I don't know. She shows me a piano. Okay. As I continue to connect with her, I need to talk about what a hardworking woman, it's like, you know, she could, so many things. Your grandma, Tekla, she was amazing at the piano, and she was Catholic. Interesting. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I need to tell you, Tekla, the second I read your message and made that connection between you and her, I felt her personality come really clearly. She was a lovely lady, but she very much spoke her mind. All right, you would never have to guess you know, how she was feeling about absolutely anything because she had already told you. You know what I mean by that? But I don't mean that necessarily in a harsh way. She just very much spoke her truth. She spoke what she felt. You never had to guess with her in any way, shape, or form, Tekla. I don't know what this is, Tekla, but I need to talk to you about a boy. And as I said that, she wrote me the number 2, and I think she's correcting me that I need to talk about 2 boys here. Okay? I do not know, Tekla, how many children you have or what your situation is, but I'm not sure if you could quickly answer me that. I don't know. She wants me to talk about 2 boys. As I wait for your response on that, as I know there's a little bit of a delay, I'll keep on carrying on with her. It's really interesting how she shows me the love and the bond between her and her husband. It's really beautiful. Actually, I've seen a lot of that tonight, which is so lovely. It is so beautiful to see. She moves on to show me you got 2 brothers and one of them had 2 boys. Oh, okay, Tekla. That could be. That lines up, but I'm just not sure what she's trying to say to me. Oh, and as I has 2 boys. Yeah, I knew what she meant. As I read your message, she showed me a sleeping bag. So I don't know if she's trying to talk about one of these boys are going camping, or I don't know where she's going with that. All of a sudden, she showed me a rolled up sleeping bag. Okay. These would be just a way of her showing you and explaining to you how she's around and she's watching. She knows, she knows exactly what's going on. She knows about the camping and so on and so forth. She shows me, Tekla, that you love listening to music. Okay? She tells me you play it too loud, but she tells me that you love to listen to music. Okay? She moves on to showing me these bright, shiny dimes. You keep watching for those shiny dimes, all right, Tekla, as your wonderful grandmother is around and trying to be with you and give you some guidance as you go through new things in your life. She makes me feel like going down a new path here and there a little bit. Decisions have been made, and you kind of wonder if you've been making the right decisions. Well, you're living at Steep Rock this summer and see the kids here. Oh, that's lovely. Absolutely. You betcha. Yep. That was her way to see the sleeping bag, was to talk about the camping. Perfect. Absolutely. Yep. Again, that's just Grandma's way of showing you that she knows exactly what you guys are up to right now. Okay? That's so fantastic. Wonderful. Your Grandma sends absolutely all her love to you, and sorry, I was just watching her. She wants me to express to you, you came across 3 dimes today. Oh, that's so awesome that she would bring that up. Perfect. You better believe it. That would be why she showed them to me. You bet. And you love your music loud. She shows me that you're enjoying a cold drink. It's in a can, whether that's beer or cooler or what that is, I don't know. But she shows me you're enjoying a cold drink. All right. Again, Grandma's just sending all her love to you, Tekla. All the best to you and your wonderful family. All right. All right. next loved one I would love to bring forward is I have a younger male here. I have a younger male here. You're most welcome, Tekla. Anytime. I have this young man here. He's handsome, he's tall, he's got a little bit of a darker skin tone to him, very nice cheekbones, a good looking young man. Okay? Unfortunately, he passed in his 20s. And he lets me know that his mom is watching tonight. Okay? And interesting and all that, I don't know why I need to talk about drinking tea. I don't know if you enjoy drinking tea. Kind of feels like that's what he's trying to tell me. And he makes me feel like you drink tea because it calms your nerves a little bit. It relaxes you, I guess is the best way to describe that. This wonderful young man. He unfortunately is no longer here because of his own doing. And that's such a hard pill for you to swallow. It's so hard for you to understand. This wonderful young man, I have connected with him numerous times. And I don't know why he really wanted to come through tonight. I know, he writes me the word Jordan. I know. It's really cool because, you know, I do remember in the past that he'd write me the letter J, and in this situation he's full out writing me his name. No, I don't think so, Lynn. I don't think this is your brother. Again, I believe this is Jordan. He's tried to connect with his loved ones that are watching tonight. He just sends his love. Okay. He's trying really hard to tell me something. I just need a quick couple seconds here. I don't know why he wants me to talk about going to the fair. I don't know why. But anyways, he wants me to quickly remind you how good he feels. It's so important that you keep that in mind. Okay? As you grieve his passing. You grieve his passing like it happened yesterday. Okay? And he's trying so hard to let you understand that under the circumstances, he feels so much better. Norma, I believe this is your son too. I really do. Okay? But I'm going to ask him, give me something really specific. Okay? Because, you know, I have indeed, as you know, I have connected with him numerous times now. Do you know, Norma, why I would need to talk about an elephant, like a stuffed elephant or something like that? And when I asked him to give me something really specific. And he wants me to talk about rainbows with you. Okay? Let's give you a quick second to respond to that, and I'll try and move on. Like, keep talking with him. Okay? He wants me to tell you that the weather in heaven is perfect for fishing. Perfect. Okay. He wants me to talk about how much as time's going on, how much more and more and more his beautiful boy looks like him, acts like him. Okay? And it's so beautiful, and he thanks you so much for doing such a good job looking after his little boy. All right, Norma. Thank you so much for giving me that opportunity to connect with your lovely son, Jordan, tonight. Thank you, Norma. You were making rainbows with sidewalk chalk with his son. That is so awesome. You know, that's so beautiful. It's almost bringing tears to my eyes. And you were just talking about that. No way. Okay, Norma. You know, that's just his way of showing you how he is with you, how he is with you all the time, especially watching over that beautiful little boy. Okay. Thank you. The next loved one I would love to bring forward is I have a lady here. All right. She lets me know that unfortunately it looks to me like she's trying to express that she passed of cancer. Okay? She did not live a long, long life. What do I mean by that? 50s, later 50s possibly. Somewhere in there. I want to say in the later 50s, somewhere in there. Okay? She's not giving me an exact number. Okay? This wonderful lady, I almost started to laugh because it's like her laugh is contagious. And you know when people have such good, great laughs, you want to laugh with them. You know what I mean by that? And that's how I feel about this wonderful lady. She loved life to the fullest. Right? She was very much the glass is half full, not half empty. Even when she was sick, you know, like I said, I believe she's trying to express her cancer to me. I lost my mama last year to cancer, just turned 72. All right, Melina, it could be. I didn't think she was that old, and I'm being very honest here. I would have said in like later 50s, maybe early 60s, but I could have been wrong on that. But you know, again, she didn't give me the number, but I was just going off by how she looked. So then therefore, that would mean that she would have, when she felt good, I need to make that clear, okay? When she felt good prior to her passing, when she was in her prime, when she really felt good, that would mean that she looked younger than she really was. And so you let me know if that would make sense to you. She looked good and looked younger. But such a, you know, I need to talk about what a beautiful spirited woman, and I mean that. Wow, just so positive and could find things to, you know, she could laugh at kind of crappy situations, you know. Her personality just absolutely beams. She looks so young. I said she was 50 for 10 years. Oh, that's awesome. Well, you know, that makes sense. Okay. You've convinced me. That's very possible. That's exactly who this is, Melina. Your lovely mama. But I want to make darn sure. So I'm going to ask her to show me some things that you know, might be specific between you and her or something like that. And I didn't even finish saying it to you. And she showed me shoes. Somebody loves shoes here. You or her. Somebody loves shoes, okay? And I don't know. I feel like it's you, but anyways, I don't know that for sure. She showed me next. She moved on to, interestingly, I don't know if I've ever been, you know, I've often seen an urn to show that someone was cremated. And it was interesting, she showed me what looked like the ash itself. And so that would tell me, Melina, that she would have been cremated. If you could let me know if that's true. Okay. and showing me the ashes specifically. I always try to do better than I did yesterday when it comes to my career. I'm always working on my gift. And so when new things come up and I see them, I always wonder, question why and work at that to understand things better. And just the fact that I don't think I've ever been shown the actual physical ash, Melina. I just wonder, do you have some of her ashes? Is that what she's trying to say to me? I'll just give you a few seconds to answer that. I talked about the shoes. She's already moved on. They move very quickly, Melina. They don't want to waste a second of time, as I only have a few minutes to connect with her for you. She shows me the absolute love for flowers, and she would love to hand you a bouquet of flowers today to show you her love. All right. She did. She just showed me this beautiful, beautiful bouquet of flowers. All right. And I need to tell you, she shows me how in heaven her sun is shining. Okay? The sun is bright and it's beautiful. The weather is lovely. And I don't know why in particular the sun. Okay? She wasn't cremated, but we were supposed to put my sister's ashes with her. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why in particular she showed the ash versus the urn. That makes perfect sense. Thank you for taking a moment to explain that to me. You betcha. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Your lovely mom. You must have been so proud to have her as a mom. You would have felt, as I feel her personality, you would have felt, that if you were half of the person she was, you'd be doing great. You know what I mean by that? Like, just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person was your mom, and is, right? She's resting very peacefully. I need to tell you, she wants to make it very clear that her pain and her suffering is over. All right. The discomfort and the I think I want to call it the discomfort more than anything was what she was going through. I was going to say pain, and I'm sure there was, but she really made me feel like she was discomforted. Okay? Yeah, she was the most wonderful mama. Absolutely. Absolutely. Interestingly, she moves on real quick, Melina, to showing me some pictures. So I don't know, have you been looking at pictures of her lately? This would have had to been in the last week or two kind of thing. Even maybe the last day or two. She's trying to tell me something. Okay? And she very much drew my eyes to a necklace for some reason too, Melina. I wonder if those things make sense to you. She showed me a deck of cards. Okay? I think she's trying to express to me that she's enjoying her card games in heaven as well. All right. Just know, again, real quick, her pains and her sufferings are all over. Okay? It's done with. The moment she exhaled her last breath, she went into eternal life, and it's so beautiful. Okay? She played cards on her bed every day. No way. No way. Wow. Yeah. It was really interesting. I just need to add a little bit of detail. When you wrote that to me about the playing cards on her bed, I just need to tell you, she showed me that deck of cards, and they were well used. You know what I mean? Like that, like very, like kind of worn looking, and kind of thicker, because they were so worn. You know what I mean? She showed me this older deck of cards. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Melina. It was an absolute pleasure to connect with your beautiful, beautiful mom tonight. Oh, no way. And that could be it too. When you said, yeah, you took a picture of her room and the cards were on the bed. Yeah. So That's fantastic. That's so glad that she showed that deck of cards. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Melina. It was my honor. Thank you for tuning in. Sharon, I read your message. That is so great. I'm glad to read that. Okay. All right. The next loved one that I would love to bring forward is I have another wonderful, wonderful lady here. I need to say she passed. She was a senior. All right. She lived a good. She tells a good life. She worked hard. There was, you know, if I could say it like this, there wasn't a lot of money, but there was a lot of love there. All right. She had her way of making a lot out of a little. You know. I can see how hard she worked in her gardens and all her canning and all that kind of stuff. Just worked super hard to provide for her family the best way that she could. All right. This wonderful lady is really interesting. She really drew my eyes and my attention to her cheeks. Okay? She has these kind of, you know, round cheeks, you know, and she smiles so big at me. I just notice her cheeks. Okay. You're most welcome, Melina. Okay. This wonderful lady. What can I say about her? I asked her, give me some specifics. What happened? Okay. And you know, when I asked her what happened, I don't know why. Geez. She drew my attention to what feels like a sun. Just not 100% sure what she means by that. She really shows me what feels like a sun. I don't know what that's about, but I'll just keep on going. I'll stay connected with her. She shows me, I feel that farmer's wife vibe from her totally. Okay. So I talked about the big garden and, you know, all that kind of stuff, working so darn hard. I really feel that I think this was a farmer's wife. Okay. I've asked her how come she is no longer here, what happened. Okay. And there was a lot of medications, I know that much. Okay. There was, I think, like she's trying to show me what it feels like, you know, like high blood pressure. Maybe some heart issues here, possibly. There's just lots of medications. Okay. Caitlin, maybe my grandma could be. Caitlin, as I read your message, she wants me to talk about horses. I have no idea if that means anything to you. She showed me horses. As I talked about the farm, it was like I left that part out. And all of a sudden now she showed me this great big barn. Okay? Very, if I can say, very well liked in the community. Very, many friends. I truthfully don't know if the family itself was big, but she just makes me feel like just friends with every neighbor, and you know, for miles and miles, and in the towns and the community, just very well liked people. Okay. It's really interesting, Caitlin, that she wants me to talk about her joking husband that like kind of a bit of a likes to joke around. Okay. And she's, I think in a joking manner, she's like, oh, he he just doesn't stop, you know. Now she wasn't like that. She just accepted it and let him do his thing, and he was always joking people, pranking people, and she just let it happen, kind of thing. She's a very, very lovely, lovely role model, if I can call her that, Caitlin. As someone that you must have totally looked up to. Caitlin, do you have brothers? I just don't know why. I'm just trying to understand why she showed me what it felt like some grandsons too to talk about. Okay, let's give you a second test. I don't know what she's getting at there with that. She's talking about the horses, and now I'm seeing what looks like. Sorry, just a second. Stock cars. Okay. He was a prankster to your grandpa, absolutely. I need to talk about what felt like racing cars or something, I don't know. Okay. Well, I'm glad that makes sense to you, Caitlin. That's perfect. Your lovely grandma. She comes through tonight to talk to me, to tell you how much she loves you. Okay. It's really interesting. She put a child on your knee. And she wants me to talk about how, so you must have children, she wants me to talk about how no matter what your situation is, you always put your kids first. Okay? No matter what, no matter how the cars would make sense. Oh, I'm glad they do. Okay, perfect. I have to go back to, she's showing me the car, children on your knee, reading to kids, or children learning to read, or something like that. She's just showing me how you always, being mom is number one too, always. No matter how you're feeling, no matter what you're doing. Okay? She's extremely, extremely proud of you, Caitlin, for your accomplishments. I don't know if I should say that. Well, you know, interestingly, you know, I've learned that your loved ones won't show me something I'm not supposed to say, you know. So I'm just going to come out and say it. It was really interesting and all this. Like, Caitlin, she shows me, like, something about, I want to say that you're not great at spending money. You like to save your money, okay? I need to say that to you. And she's kind of making a bit of a joke about that. I'm not really sure what to think about that. But, And Caitlin, in all of this, it was weird. Next, she moved very quickly to a bottle of perfume. I don't know what that's about either. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'd be talking about you not spending money, and then she moved on to a bottle of perfume, or if the bottle of perfume is something totally different, but that you would understand the bottle of perfume. Like I said, they move very quickly, and I just do my very best to get the messages out as quickly as I can. All right, and the joke is because there's no money to spend. Well, okay, all right, Caitlin. Who really, really likes to eat pancakes? She wants me to talk to you about that. That was really interesting. And all of this, all of a sudden, showed me this great big stack of pancakes. You found an old bottle of Chanel No. 5 when doing her room. No way. Absolutely. You know what, Caitlin, that's your lovely grandma's way of showing you that she was there with you when you were doing that. She knows that occurred. That's why she talks about the perfume. Okay? She was right there with you as you were doing that, you know, that process, and that, you know, how hard that was, and so on and so forth. All right? Just know that your lovely, lovely grandma is doing very well. She always told Mom she burned the pancakes. She told her not to cook them so long. All right. You know, as long as you understood that there was a story there, there's a memory that you caught it right quick. That's fantastic. Absolutely. This is definitely, definitely your lovely grandma. And so just know that what I'm telling you is true, that, you know, she's sending her love to you. It's really beautiful. She just told me to tell you that she loves you, Angel. She calls you that tonight. And she's very proud how you're persevering through life with all the things that you've been dealing with. I talk about, she made me feel kind of in the stomach area pain. I need to say that to you. She shows that I feel it as I'm connected, and super, super proud of everything that you're going through and doing so well at it all at the same time. You still put one foot in front of the other and do the very best you can. Towards the end, she was calling them chocolates. That is hilarious. That is so hilarious. That make, you know, I'm so glad there's a story with pancakes. That's perfect. Absolutely, Caitlin. You know, your grandma is, we talked about your grandpa being a jokester. Your grandma can keep them rolling too, which is really cute in itself. I just need to tell you how lovely her eternal life in heaven is. All right. So peaceful. She's laughing. I tell you, she's laughed. She laughed right now. All her sufferings are over. So just try and remember that as when we grieve and we miss our loved ones so much. All right. Thank you so very much, Caitlin. It was an absolute honor to connect with your lovely, lovely grandma tonight. Thank you so much, Caitlin. You know, for my viewers that continuously, well, often watch my Wednesday Whispers, you'll know exactly where I'm going with this before I go too far into it. I started talking about food and pancakes and this, that, and the other. All of a sudden, I had a loved one that was trying to connect and wanting, you know, we're talking about food. And all of a sudden, I could see this great big plate of pierogies and all of this. And I knew that I had this wonderful man here who's trying so hard. And I'm not even done talking. And Tyson writes, "Hey, Pops." And absolutely, you know, Tyson tries, you know, he doesn't, I'm not going to say he doesn't like to receive messages from his loved ones on my broadcast. He just doesn't want to take time away from anybody else because, you know, Tyson can get messages from me on a regular basis, so to speak. And but anyways, I appreciate Jerry coming, his dad coming to say hi with his great big plate of pierogies. He waited till 8:58 to come through and not take time away from anybody else. That is so appreciated. He wants me, it was really beautiful and all this, he just showed me a great big birthday cake. He wanted me to say happy birthday, and happy birthday, not to Tyson, because Tyson's birthday's in March, but I know that Tyson's brother's birthday has just passed. But anyways, I do need to say he definitely is presenting a great big birthday cake, and the cake is delicious. It's white. I had to concentrate for a second. It's white with white icing. But anyways, I was just reading Tyson's message. And I just need to tell you, I just need to tell my husband real quick also, it's something I don't think I've ever seen as I have connected with Jerry on numerous occasions. I just need to say real quick that he's got something on his face. He's got food on his face. And I've never seen that. It is so cute. And that's just, Jerry loved food. Jerry loved to eat. And there's no secret there. And so in his heaven, He's always eating something. Every time he comes, it's pierogies or pie or da-da-da-da-da-da. But anyways, I don't want to take too much time away from anybody else. But Jerry just very much is sending his love to all of you and all who knew him, and not just Tyson. He just trying to send his love to everybody, and especially a great big happy birthday to Tyler. Okay. Tyson's mom says that Tyler always asks for white cake for his birthday. See, I didn't know that. That's fantastic. So I'm so glad that Jerry brought that forward. All of a sudden, I don't know why, I also need to say real quick, I can smell Old Spice. So I wonder if does that make sense or not? I don't know, I can smell it. I don't know if he's trying to get through or if it's actually, I think he's trying to really quickly say that he's with his dad. I'm not 100% sure. I was aftershave, perfect. Okay, you betcha, absolutely. Like I said, Tyson, he doesn't like to take time away from anyone else, but I had to, you know, Tyson deserves to hear from his loved ones too, as he's tuned into every Wednesday Whispers just like everybody else. So I hope my viewers don't mind listening to Jerry for a quick moment. I just talk also as he's looking sharp. It's a memory, I'm supposing. He wants me to talk about this. He's wearing, I don't know what this is, he's wearing this dress shirt with very big collar. It's pointy little big collar. Okay. And he's smiling from ear to ear. There's some, next he moves on, he's got there's some old, I can feel like the records, and records are old. We don't even listen to records anymore. But he brings forward a record for some reason, and there must be some type of special occasion because now he's shining his shoes. Okay. He's the Wednesday Whisperer mascot, Tracy. I loved it. That is fantastic. Thank you for being so understanding. That Jerry does come through once in a while. That is so great. Well, everybody, it was an absolute pleasure. It was my honor tonight to use the beautiful gifts that God has given me to help people, for me to use them tonight on this week's broadcast of Wednesday Whispers. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, everybody. And until next Wednesday, please